because me personally, I was fucking disgusted by what I saw. The goal to say, okay, now it's time to turn down the temperatures right after killing someone in front of thousands of kids. And I'm not gonna lie, I had some pretty violent thoughts after that.
Today, organizers say at least 7 million Americans took to the streets protesting what many called an abuse of power by President Trump.
This is the No Kings protest.
The largest political demonstration in the history of Idaho.
The movement centers around a message of accountability and equality, pushing back against the idea of unchecked power and authority. My goal in coming here wasn't to take a side, but to listen, to understand what this moment means to the people standing in it. Through the conversations, you'll hear directly from those who came out with their motivations, frustrations, and hopes for change. So before we dive into interviews, take a look around. This is what it looked and sounded like at the heart of the No Kings protest.
The woman's right to choose.
Yes, very good, Louise.
And then all people are people who deserve rights.
How do you feel about Trump doing those kinds of things, where he's like deploying the National Guard in Portland or California without the governor's approval?
I think it's kind of important that if certain people aren't interested, yeah, it's fine. If certain people aren't interested in him deploying it, then there's a problem. There's a baseline problem, and if the presidency sees that, then they should act upon it if it's a major problem that's happening.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. So, I guess that's kind of what everybody here is kind of saying, is that, you know, we should be having the federal government not sending their National Guard to places that the governor doesn't want, if that makes sense. So, and it seems to be that a lot of the time he's doing it in places that don't necessarily politically align with him, and I think that's a big portion of why the people are out here. What side of the political party do you normally associate with?
I would have to say Republican to put it the most base way. But me personally, my opinions, I think government should be very minimalist, and but that's the way I'd like it. But the problem with that is all the Democrats are very crowded in the big cities, and that's why a lot of the rural areas are very Republican, is because all the Democrats are very crowded and high population, and the Republicans are really spread out, and so it kind of makes a very hard contrast for us to win via proper voting process. That, and then the voter ID laws with different states where there's not required, that the immigrants would rather have not, because then they can vote and stuff that favors them, which they, in all realism, probably shouldn't have as not an actual citizen.
Yeah, I don't think that illegals or not even illegals, just immigrants who aren't citizens should be allowed to vote, and I don't think that they're able to, from my understanding. But the number one, I guess, argument back against voter ID that I hear a lot is well, if you're a citizen and you don't have an ID, you still technically have the right to vote. So why should we limit those people from voting, if that makes sense?
So there's a proper process of getting into the country, and it should be, what's the right word for it? It should be honored, because the United States was built more or less off of the honor system and us coming off of a tyranny government that was the UK at the time. And so I'm just trying to find the right words for it so this makes more sense. There's a proper process that everybody should follow. For us that were born here, we got lucky. But for people that are coming in, there's plenty of people that have legally come in, they've done the due process, they're doing it properly, and they're getting pushed down by the people that are doing it illegally, because jobs become cheaper, because people that are illegal, employers can take advantage of that, and they can pay them way less, which brings down the living wage for everybody. But that's an issue, is because they're all, it's hard to put it. It's just an issue just because it brings down the wages. I'm in the trucking business, and there's people that come in illegally and get licenses from California that they shouldn't be getting their CDLs from. And the median paid by the mile is up to about $3 right now. But those people take down to 90 cents and they bring it down for everybody so that we can't earn as much with the proper market, but they choose to be able to be paid less.
Okay. And do you think that the asylum seeking process is something that would be considered? Do you consider that illegal immigration, or do you consider that legal immigration? Or
I consider it legal immigration when they follow the rules that are put in front of them, because they're like, hey, you come in, we put you in an area where we think you're going to be safe for now while we process everything and see if you're a right fit for this place. Because all the other countries, everywhere else does it. That's a first world country that isn't somewhere that isn't a third world country. So everybody else does it. Like Germany, the UK does it. Well, the UK doesn't really do it for the most part, but Germany has really strict policies and all those different places like that. So I don't see why we shouldn't have the same to protect our jobs and our livelihoods.
I got you. And then last question: do you think that the immigrants that are coming here, even the illegal ones, should be awarded due process under the Constitution?
I think that if they do come here illegally out of just panic and not knowing the right process, I think they should be able to face the facts and turn themselves in and stay somewhere where they can go through due process and not incriminate themselves further.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for the interview.
Yeah.
Oh, literally, yeah. All right, so who am I with today?
Roy.
And what brings you down here to the Capitol?
Honestly, I'm here with the client.
What do you mean by that?
So I'm actually working. My client was in the rally, and I came down with him.
Okay, how do you feel about Donald Trump deploying the National Guard to like Portland and LA, things like that, without the approval from the governor themselves?
I mean, why would he deploy them to Portland? I mean, for what? All I see that Portland needs is some help cleaning up. I mean, what is the National Guard supposed to do? Are they going to get some brooms and some rakes and stuff and help clean up some of the trash around there? If they're doing that, then cool. But if not, if they're harassing people, then what for?
Yeah, I don't disagree. It seems to be they're deploying the National Guard in these areas to help fight crime and calling them like war-torn areas and trying to fight the murder rates and the robberies and the looting and things like that are going on. And then so when it comes to like Trump passing executive orders such as like the flag burning executive order and things like that, do you think that he should be allowed to pass executive orders like that have Supreme Court rulings backing them, and his executive orders are directly contradicting those said Supreme Court rulings?
I don't, but unfortunately, I believe that's how our republic works. I mean, the Republicans have control of the Senate, the House, all that stuff. So if they're going to force laws through, the only thing we can do is vote Democrat and get some more Democrats in there. So I don't really exactly agree with it, but that's how the law works, or how our justice system works. So, but I don't believe in that. But I know if you go back, there was a few times where Obama rammed some stuff through that was just not bipartisan. He just put it through. So I really don't agree with changing the laws that were already there.
Yeah, and I don't disagree either, but it does seem to be that that the Supreme Court ruling is supposed to, and the Supreme Court is supposed to, I guess, check the executive orders and be able to say, yeah, that's unconstitutional or not constitutional, kind of very similar to like the ATF pub stock bans.
Didn't Trump didn't he appoint half of the Supreme Court?
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, of course.
So
of course.
Like if you have all those people in your pocket and they're voting, you don't really even have to have any friction or there's another word for that, but anybody trying to stop you.
Yeah, there's no checks and balances happening there, right? It's just you being able to do whatever you want.
Yeah. We the people honestly got to blame that on us. It's like, where were we when voting was happening? We knew a Republican was coming in. I mean, do people know that their own state and their own city, those are the people that you need to vote for? So if you let all Republicans come in and do that, you just gave power to all the Republicans in. So we the people, we have to look at ourselves and figure out what we need to do different, what we can do different.
What would you recommend people do differently?
Stop voting, period. Just don't even vote. No, I mean, vote. I believe that people need to get together. We need to find somebody that has our same common our common beliefs and common wants in mind, and we need to find somebody that's like not Republican or not Democrat, just somebody just straight middle, just straight even.
Yeah, someone who wants the benefit of all of Americans instead of just their political party.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, thank you so much for the interview.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's look at how this is how the terrorists act crossing the road. Look at that. They actually obey the laws on their march. They're obeying all the traffic laws.
All right, so I'm here with
Mark.
Mark and Mark and Julie. So I know I like the Statue of Liberty stuff. So what brings you guys out today?
It's no kings.
No
No kings in America.
No dictators. I like that. I think that's a pretty good American value to have.
Yeah.
What about like the new current admin? Do you think is like kind of being like a dictator or authoritarian?
I think, yeah, the only thing that Trump should dictate is when his diaper should be changed.
When it comes to like the flag burning executive order, people tend to say that it's unconstitutional or not exactly in the will of the people and suppresses free speech. And then the other side says it's inciting violence and things like that. I'm just curious, what do you guys feel about like the burning of the American flag and things like that?
Well, there's free speech. So, and in fact, to actually respectfully retire a flag, you do burn it. So it's all relative of what you're doing with it.
What about if someone was burning the flag in protest of like American politics or American or things that are going on in America?
Well, we have a Bill of Rights where there's freedom of expression, whether you agree with it or not. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I totally don't disagree. And then last thing, what does the American flag represent to you?
It's freedom.
Freedom. Sweet. Thank you guys so much for the interview. Have a wonderful day. They're currently chanting, "This is what democracy looks like." All of these people here to protest Donald Trump and his hawkish immigration policies and his overstep of the Constitution via executive orders and the deployment of the National Guard to places like LA, Memphis, Portland. So I'm here with
myself and my family.
Okay, yeah, no worries. What brings you out today?
To promote the awareness of the falling of our democracy by Trump and his cronies.
I got you. And then what are some of the things that like Trump has done recently that you don't necessarily agree with or you think that are unconstitutional or go against the Constitution?
Using the military against U.S. citizens, deploying them against U.S. citizens. The ICE, the overzealous ICE that are being used throughout the cities. It's attack of the blue states. Saying that the protesters are anti-American, that were terrorists, that were Hamas supporters. And the lies and deceit coming from the White House and his supporters.
Things that I've seen coming from Trump and his supporters is that the Democrats currently with the government shutdown are trying to get funding for healthcare for illegal and undocumented immigrants. And I was just curious on how you felt about that.
Well, the truth is that the healthcare plans that are being promoted do not provide healthcare to illegal immigrants. So the Republicans are doing a great smear lying campaign leading many Americans with lies about that. The Democrats don't want to provide free health care to illegal immigrants.
And then the final question, just what would you recommend your fellow citizen does after the protests and things like that?
Continue their protests, continue to voice their opinions amongst their congressmen, both at the local level, state level, and the federal level.
Sweet. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Peacefully. Yep. Thank you so much. Would you want to do a quick interview just of why you're here and what's going on, and then maybe a couple questions about the costume? No worries at all. Thank you so much. She said no, she does not want to, which is well within her rights to deny. Seems like nobody really wants to talk about why they're here. More or less just kind of protest. So it seems to be that everybody's kind of converging back down to the Capitol, and where they'll continue to protest. So they're out here trying to make, the protesters look way more dangerous than they actually are. All of the Antifa people out here have been, harassing all these people. And if you can't tell I'm being satirical, there's obviously no one around anybody here who's wearing a MAGA hat, nor does anybody here really care. A majority of the people are here just to protest and voice their freedom of speech and the things that they see are going wrong in their own country.
Officer, I have a question. Is there a reason why she gets security detail here? And my tax dollars are paying for this?
not answering any questions.
Well, why has she got security detail?
Why
do you have security detail?
Don't harass the cops. They're trying
Why
to
do you
protect
guys?
us.
Yeah, but I pay their salary and they're protecting you.
They're protecting citizens.
You, one person. Hey, did you feel threatened here? You got pushed? Oh my lord. Hey, did you see anybody breaking the law? Hey, did you see anybody breaking the law? Did you see anybody breaking the law? Just curious. See, if you wear a red hat, you get security detail in Idaho from Idaho State Police. Our taxpayer. Nobody attacked you. You lie. I got video of it. I got video of it. So did you see any violence here?
I have not.
Did you see anybody pushing anybody, pulling signs or anything? No.
I'm in danger.
Video of it. People are literally stopping for crosswalks, and you're over here saying you're getting attacked. That's silly. I just want to know why our police are protecting you. Who are you? Are you more important than me? Our tax dollars are paying to protect people because they have a red hat on. And they want to make it look like there's something violent going on here when there's nothing. I'm just trying to understand why somebody with a MAGA hat trying to make some violent stuff happen. Did you see that guy? Oh, well, somebody pushed us. Somebody did this. They're trying to make it look violent when it wasn't violent at all. So did you see any violence here?
I have not.
Did you see anybody pushing anybody, pulling signs or anything? No. All right. Well, there you have it. The guy over there claimed that was happening. As you can see, it's totally peaceful, but they're over here trying to just stage it. They're trying to frame it as not being peaceful.
Fuck this place. Just because we work for it doesn't mean we cannot make a difference.
Would you guys want to do a quick interview? I'm kind of just asking people why they're here and what's going on.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at
No, funny enough, you seem to be doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm just gonna keep replaying this song until it seems done.
Hey, I like it. I like it. Nope, another person denies the interview. Says no, thank you. Which I get it.
Intelligent children around here for talking like that?
For what, like the swearing and stuff? No, I was just asking what she's doing and kind of what's going on.
Kids right there with shit.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay, so I'm here with
Mace.
Mace.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. What brings you out today?
Honestly, I think I'm just sick and tired of the rhetoric out there ever since September 10th.
Chaos and horror on a college campus. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk gunned down in front of a crowd at Utah Valley University.
Honestly, I'm not typically someone who does this. I'm someone who's, pretty laid back. I'd rather be in my room playing some video games right now than that. But ever since September 10th, it went from being horrified to utterly fucking disgusted with my fellow Americans. I mean, yeah, I know you disagreed with the guy. He was still a father and a husband, and you're celebrating his death and calling for the death of his wife and kids to say not stop there. So honestly, I'm not even wearing this hat for Trump. I'm wearing this for Charlie Kirk. Okay. Yeah.
And then how do you feel about people who say like the left is turning down the rhetoric after the death of Charlie Kirk, where it seems the right is perpetuating it?
That's actually I have mixed feelings about that because, I mean, the goal to say, okay, now it's time to turn down the temperatures right after killing someone in front of thousands of kids. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, but they are right in a sense, because me personally, I was fucking disgusted by what I saw. And I'm not gonna lie, I had some pretty violent thoughts after that. Because how could I live in a society where half of them would celebrate and piss on my grave and my family's grave simply for disagreeing with them? Yeah, thankfully, a lot of these people here aren't like that. But I mean, if I saw any Antifa, then I'd make my more shirt apparent. So, yeah.
What how do you identify like an Antifa, someone who's a part of Antifa or an Antifa agent?
If they're violent.
Okay, so just if you saw somebody committing violence or hurting another person, you would step in.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, I did come with a knife just in case shit did go bad. Thankfully, it didn't. The people here are peaceful, so I am happy about that. I mean, there's a few little scraps here and there, but otherwise, it's not Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, and then as far as
Donald Trump goes, a lot of the left has said that like he's overstepped his bounds with executive orders and things like that, especially when referring to like the burning the flag executive order. And I was just curious on how you felt about that.
Well, when it comes to burning the flag, you can do it on your own property. Go ahead. But if you're doing it in public, you're setting a fire in public. That in itself should be illegal. But they do have the First Amendment to do it, even though I completely disagree with them doing it. They just got to do it on their own property. Because I mean, if they light it up on the street, that's arson.
Your side, how should the Republican people who see things like this view it, and what should their takeaway be from something like this?
Honestly, I really don't have any words for anyone liberally. I shouldn't say liberal leaning. I mean people who would actively celebrate the death of those people, the people who would celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm talking about them. I have no fucking words for them. They could eat shit and die for all I care. But as for Republicans, now I will say this: I did have violent thoughts after Charlie Kirk. I was fucking furious, and I know I wasn't the only one. But that is not what Charlie would have wanted. But I think Steven Crowder said it best: fight vigorously with the pen, and do not afford these criminals any mercy. Defend yourself with the sword if you have to, but never attack with the sword. Always attack with the pen.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much for your interview, brother. Have a great one. Sweet. So, what is all the food here for, and then where's it going?
We do a collection for people to bring food for a food bank.
Pause. This is Flag Dad. He's a local content creator from the area. Go show him some love after this.
So it's going out. What food banks to go into? Do we know? Don't know. But one of them. We did Idaho City, I think, last time. Filled up a whole U-Haul trailer like this. It's already over there. It's coming back. It's already half full right now.
Sweet.
So it's pretty cool. We got a ton or two of 3,000, 4,000 pounds of food to give to the food bank. What the heck, right?
And then is this all donated from the protesters and the people that are showing up?
Yeah, everybody who showed up, yeah. All the people showed up bringing food every time.
Sweet. So it seems that they're not as violent and evil humans as, the rhetoric seems to make them out as.
No, we're all just patriotic Americans.
Sweet.
Don't believe the hype.
Thank you so much.